Okay, so we've had a bunch of talks that have covered some of the sort of notional Atom 2.0 Cosmos Hub white paper. This is going to be the brass tacks talk of what is this actually going to do, what are we imagining, why does this exist? A little bit of sort of operational details, the sort of expected workflow is I'm going to talk for 20 minutes. When I'm done talking, the new Cosmos Hub white paper proposal will be on the Cosmos Hub forum at 11. And so, again, this is still going to be high level. There's going to be a lot more details in the paper that has, we've really put like almost 9 months worth of work into. So, we're going to be writing this for a little bit, and I'll be around to answer questions for the rest of the day. Okay, so like, why do this? So over the last year, Cosmos has gone through like a lot of sort of amazing things. We had this entire crazy ride with Terra that did demonstrate that the ecosystem could withstand such a large disaster. We've had major new projects come to the Cosmos stack. We've had this amazing thing that Delphi has written about sort of deductively reasoning by go through every possible blockchain platform to build DeFi on, and there's really only one answer for building DeFi for the masses, which is Cosmos. So this is all wonderful. In comparison, Atom has been an underperforming asset. And without a doubt, I think we sort of understand intuitively why. That Atom was not the priority of the original development of the Cosmos Hub and the Cosmos ecosystem, building this ecosystem, building all these enabling infrastructure technologies. The second thing that I think was very clear to us when we sort of started to create Cosmos was we didn't really know what the right set of tools and primitives for coordination were going to be to make an asset like Atom valuable until we could see the entire network running and living in the real world. So we've had, almost 2 years of, 18 months of Atom in the real world, of IBC in the real world. And now I think we know how to sketch out a future where Atom is not just a sort of meme coin in the IBC ecosystem, but actually has a purpose that is aligned with the growth of the rest of the ecosystem. So I'll start out first with the sort of core belief here, which is that ultimately Cosmos is about people, and Atom is about people. The purpose of all of this is to create this community that we see here today, that's watching online, that is tweeting about this. Ultimately, the community of builders is the purpose of all of this, and this is not just about making an asset go up regardless of the title of this talk. So the other thing is that in the Cosmos ecosystem in 2018 and 2019, I was very front and center. And after IBC shipped, I decided to focus my energies on other things, having finished the white paper. And it's a little bit incumbent upon me to reintroduce myself. Many of you encounter me on podcasts and on my Twitter, but nobody really understands what it is that Zaki does. So here's my best attempt to explain who I am, how I work. So I have a core team, Zaki, Christy, the rest of the Occlusion team. And we are kind of this hub of this intellectual cosmos. We contribute to a lot of different projects. We do a lot of different things for them. Not every project that I contribute to made it onto this slide, but don't feel left out. It was a crowded slide. There's this myth that there's more than one Zaki because he does so many things and he holds so many contexts in his head, but it's really only possible through Christy, the core team at Occlusion, who are able to help me hold and we all work together to hold all of these contexts of all of these different projects sort of in our heads and together, and sort of make sure that the Cosmos continues to advance as a whole. And really no one else does this, and this is sort of what our unique value proposition is, and sort of why we are in a position to be giving this particular talk. So yeah, this is sort of what we do. We have a new Occlusion website that sort of seems to explain better what we do, but this is hopefully makes it a little bit more make sense who I am and what is going on. Okay, So with that out of the way. The core values of what we're trying to do is one, is expand the number of ways to build on top of Atom. The panel on interchain security, Ethan's talk really touched on this. I also think Sunny's talk really touched on this. Whereas right now, our primary selling point to builders in Cosmos for the last year has been launch your own token, get it on Osmosis and other DEXs in the Cosmos ecosystem, join this interchain economy, and if you wanted to build on top of Atom, well, the answer was pretty much you couldn't, or it's incredibly difficult. You have to closely coordinate with the core team who works on Atom at IG. It's very painful and slow going. Interchain security, Atom 2.0, mesh security, all of these things are intended to change all of that, to allow every builder in the Cosmos ecosystem the opportunity, if they want, to be building on top of, aligning with, taking advantage of the network effects of Atom. So what this will do, if we are successful, is expand the world of contributors to the Atom ecosystem. Again, to move us out of it. And I think with both Prop 72 and with Neutron, we have sort of taken the first steps to expanding this universe. So we are moving so one of the things that we think we need to change is the way proof of stake works in Cosmos. We laid out in the 2016 white paper this sketch of a interchain ecosystem. That system, of adaptive inflation, targeting a certain staking rate that sort of tried to balance the sort of competing use cases for the assets with the need to maintain security, has been the basis of many other proof of stake chains. But this has a number of downsides, and we are trying to explore what they are, but it's going to change Cosmos from what people are sort of typically used to now. We branded ourselves as these high APY staking reward driven chains, but that's not really a viable or sustainable path to the future. So where we are right now is, again, we have a chain that is, a very highly ranked asset in terms of market cap, but generates almost no protocol revenue. Part of the reason for that was we couldn't figure out, the toolkit to generate revenue without being adversarial and excluding potential users of our ecosystem has only recently become sort of something that we understand. So the key thing to understand about Atom 2.0 is it's not a secret project. I think that the meme that we've sort of propagated is that Atom 2.0 is the secret project that we've been dreaming up. I think to anybody who's been paying attention to various people in the Cosmos and what they've been talking about, they will very quickly see that everything at Atom 2.0 has sort of been out in public for months, and that this is just sort of an integration of a lot of different ideas into a coherent whole. So just pointing to a bunch of the pieces that make this possible. So Sunny's tweet about the Olympus DAO as a natural destiny or design pattern for some of what Atom could be doing in the future. Interchain security and its imminent launch. This great slide from the Flashbots team about the importance of multi-domain MEV. All of these things are sort of the building blocks, the atomic pieces of what has sort of been termed Atom 2.0, or what we view as the future of Cosmos economics. So why the secrecy? One of the aspects of this is that we wanted to portray a coherent whole. Rather than hearing about each atomic piece, we wanted to present to the community one coherent picture. The other thing is that no one has ever attempted this level of economic rebuild of a large-scale cryptocurrency ever, and there's a little bit of showmanship that's required to make that all happen. Hopefully I'm providing that showmanship right now, and this whole presentation has kind of done that. So there are three legs of the sort of new Atom economic model. There's the rapid adoption of liquid staking. So the reason why the Cosmos Hub has this infinite supply of atoms, and we felt that we needed to have this adaptive staking mechanism, was because we didn't know like what the DeFi ecosystem would look like. And when the DeFi ecosystem emerged, we realized that it would provide pressure. You would rather, if we had low or a fixed supply, we could very easily get in a situation where it would be much more profitable to have your atoms in an Osmo pool than to have it securing the hub. And so we've had to constantly be competing against every DeFi application that wanted to use Atom. The second piece is this allocation module idea. The allocation module idea is inspired by the Olympus DAO mechanism and is basically the idea of using shared economic collaboration as a reason why you can build on top of Atom and collaborate with the Cosmos Hub, rather than saying, oh, we're going to create artificial scarcity around security or number of IBC connections, or you have to pay IBC fees and atoms, all of which are sort of rivalrous exclusive economic mechanisms. And then the final thing is that what we've realized is that after theorizing about MEV for like 5 years, it is actually a real market that people will actually value block space and will participate in markets for them. And this gives us a really unique opportunity to, again, align the economics of Atom with the people who are deriving the most value from the Cosmos Hub infrastructure. Okay. Again, I'm going to go a little deeper into liquid staking. So many people are familiar with all of these liquid staking projects that are launching on Cosmos. Lido, Quicksilver, Stride, Persistence, all of these things. Why do these things matter? The reason they matter is they enable the Atom to be both economically useful out in the ecosystem and still securing the hub. So right now, one of the reasons that we see that basically the only form of DeFi that exists within Cosmos is DEXs. Because for lending protocols or anything else to exist, they have to compete with this 20% staking reward, which sort of curtails everything else in DeFi. Liquid staking and the adoption of liquid staking within the ecosystem sort of gets us to this point where Atom is now a useful economic primitive for stable coins and lending protocols and anything else that needs collateral and can do more than just be staked, while providing its core function of securing the Cosmos Hub. So one of the things that Occlusion did, Occlusion is, again, this very lean team, but we've invested a lot of time in sort of the next generation of the built-in Cosmos SDK staking module to improve the liquid staking UX to the point where you don't have to wait 21 days, you don't have to have unbonded atoms to join a liquid staking protocol. And what we're trying to do with that is accelerate the growth of all of the liquid staking protocols by making it so that they have a seamless UX for onboarding users. If we're able to then use that success of the liquid staking protocols to get atoms, the number of staked atoms to 80, 90%, we're really in a good position to now change how much inflation, new atom creation we are allocating to the security budget. And I just view the number of competing projects, the number of vendors, the level of innovation as one of the most bullish things for the future of Atom that we've seen. It's been fantastic to see all of the external capital come in to support the emergence of liquid staking in Cosmos, and by making it core to the vision of the Cosmos Hub, we're really saying that, no, this is absolutely the right way to be moving. All right, so then the next piece is this block space mechanism. So we do see that the Atom has sort of a durable advantage because of the way it was launched, the regulatory framework in which it exists, all of these things as the primary on-ramp and off-ramp into the ecosystem. We also think that that is a durable advantage, and that advantage will be sort of built upon by interchain security as the primary place in which you get on and off-ramp into the water interchain economy. So because of that, Atom is sort of central to the flows from centralized exchanges into the IBC ecosystem. And so there is economic value that the centralized exchanges have this ability to extract, because Binance knows when someone clicks the exit your atoms from Binance onto the Cosmos Hub button. They'll know when assets flow out through the Cosmos Hub, and they are, why not make them pay for sort of market making or trading or arbing that information across the entire IBC ecosystem? And what we're able to do with this concept of the interchain schedule is essentially by having a multi-chain block space futures market where you can not only buy the right to be the builder of a block for a future block, but you're also able to simultaneously ask for something like contiguous blocks across multiple chains. We're able to redirect some of that value capture that right now will primarily flow to centralized entities to the broader atom holder community. I think this is an enormous possibility, and like none of this stuff was really imaginable. But what we built in the last year is we have built with Tendermint 0.37, which is an alpha release now, which has these two new methods that we have attached to the application, prepare and process block, that are the API components of building this market. We built interchain security, which allows the same validator set to run multiple chains, which allows you to create an enforceable property right to block space. So now that we have all of these building blocks, this seems like finally we know what is the right way to sort of redirect value creation in the Cosmos ecosystem back to Atom. And so this is what's very exciting about this potential design, and why I think it beats everything else that has been done in terms of fees, et cetera, in the interchain, and basically is a much better design than like the idea of, oh, let's make Atom the IBC fee token. Sort of last major piece of this is, one of the challenges of sort of working in the Cosmos ecosystem has been, okay, I have to build liquidity for my chain, I have to when I get a new chain launched, how do I integrate with the economy? At the same time, in theory, we could do this with the Cosmos Hub today with community spend proposals, but there has been nearly zero effort to do community spend proposals, to produce economic alignment, to do treasury diversification, to expose the community pool to multiple assets. And I kind of view this as a tragedy, but there's also a huge amount of political overhead, problems with front running, all of these things. And then what we saw last year was the rise of Olympus DAO's bonding mechanism is an actual solution to this. Regardless of what you think about Olympus DAO's core product as sort of this memeable reserve currency, the fact that they were able to come up with a mechanism by which they were to deploy a treasury asset into an ecosystem, effectively build partnerships with other decentralized protocols has been a huge advantage. And so we've been incredibly inspired by this in trying to drive the allocator module as another core piece. Again, we think this is better than parachain auctions. This is kind of the missing piece of what it takes to have the sort of foundational element of an ecosystem and then link it to everything else. So just to close everything off, our dear departed friend, Blue Kirby, has been memeing all of this stuff for quite some time until he deactivated his Twitter account, which is quite sad. Blue Kirby, if you're out there, we miss you. But what we are saying is we are trying to make EIP 1559 look like a joke. For people who don't know, EIP 1559 was this idea of this in-protocol fee burn that ETH added last year. And it was this idea of, and one of the things that it does is it does align sort of MEV extraction and block space utilization better with Ethereum than their original fee model. But what it does rely on is this idea that block space is somewhat scarce. And in a world of interchain security, in a world of rollups, in this interchain world that we're going for, where it's very easy to bridge your coins between chains, block space is not scarce. And block space will never be scarce. So what we are trying to do with this white paper is really look beyond even the current state of the L1 ecosystem to really where the world is going when the sort of interchain future is fully mature, and actually figure out what is sustainable value capture, what is a sustainable asset, what is a sustainable mechanism. So that is our sort of key place. And so why has no one else done this? this is a level of, one, you need a level of decentralization to even consider doing this. This is not something that can be executed by one team. Only the model that we've seen in Cosmos, where like new teams spin up their own projects, but also are economically interconnected with all the existing projects in the ecosystem, could this ever be possible? The level of coordination that's going to be required to pull this off is something I think only the Cosmos ecosystem could possibly achieve. And so this is something that I'm very excited to be pursuing over the next couple of years with all of you. Thank you very much.